Hello and welcome to another IELTS essay correction. The question today is, there has been a dramatic growth in the number of people studying at universities in the last few decades. While some people see this as a positive trend, which generates general level of education within the community, others fear that it is lowering the quality of education. So this is something which is negative. So there are some people who believe this is positive, others think this is negative. What are the advantages and disadvantages of increase in student numbers at university? So you have to talk about both advantages as well as disadvantages. The purpose of this video today is to discuss the mistakes a student committed. The purpose is not to discuss advantages or disadvantages. Now we'll be discussing major mistakes the student has committed. We'll not venture into the minor ones, which I think you can go through this answer and understand it. So the link to this page is at the bottom of this essay. Below the YouTube video, and you can go to the website and just read the answer. There are a number of other answers in answer correction section of the website, so just feel free to surf. Now, first mistake in the introduction. Introduction is very well written. This is the introduction, and introduction is pretty well written. However, there is one mistake. The logical order of sentences is not correct. So the sentence order, this is sentence 1, sentence 2, sentence 3, and 4. The logical order should have been 2, 3, 1, and 4. What is the reason? Well, sentence 2 and sentence 3 are, if you go through them, they are journal sentences. They are based on literacy rates, university education, new techniques, technologies. So these are journal sentences. Sentence 1 is a sentence on advantages, while sentence 4 is the one on disadvantages. So you cannot mention advantages and disadvantages before writing a journal sentence. So there are two journal sentences which must be written before advantages and disadvantages. Now, going beyond this mistake, let us go through some of the most common mistakes in this essay. Well, there is just one outlying theme. Just a second, yeah. There's just one outlying major mistake that the student has committed, and that is a mistaken expression of ideas. So what do I mean by expression of ideas? Well, the student has not used proper lexical resources. The vocabulary is a bit of a problem. The vocabulary is not wrong. It could have been better written. So the scope exists in improvement of vocabulary. As far as the structure is concerned, body paragraph 1 and body paragraph 2 are well written. Structure is not a mistake. However, there are vocabulary mistakes, and let us go through a few of them. Well, first mistake over here, you can go through this opening sentence, which is more for the introduction rather than body paragraph 1. And I guess this is very much understood. Let us go through the first sentence. University education lifts literacy rate, which mitigate many evils. So it is not clear what exactly do you mean by literacy rate. So literacy rate, actually, it refers to a person's ability to read, write, and speak basic sentences. So if I'm educated till grade 10, I've never seen a college or a university, but I can read, write, or speak basic sentences in a language, I'll be basically termed as a literate. So literacy rate is very different from university education. What the student should have written was, university education imparts technical and professional skills. So this is where there's a gap in lexical resources, a gap in vocabulary. The sentence continues, and well, here it would have been better if instead of writing university study educates students. But what exactly does it educate? What exactly do you mean by education? So, and certain important skills such as teamwork, problem solving, communication, and financial skills. Now, these teamwork, leadership, problem solving, critical ability, communication, financial skills. These are called soft skills. And there are professional hard skills. For instance, if a person is an architect, if a person is an architect, he has a set of hard skills and soft skills. So hard skills are those that an architect uses to create drawings. So in creation of drawings, or some ideas for a house or even a project, and of course the site visits. These are hard skills, the site visits. So the architect visits the site and studies what is the quality of the work being done. The communication skills come under the soft skills. So university education imparts certain technical and professional skills. These are basically hard skills, and the student should have used these words to create a better impression. So the words are not wrong, they're just vague. So education is a vague word, literacy is not a proper word. Similarly, here the student has used good and used the same word twice. So these skills are extremely beneficial for a student to get good job and become a good citizen. Now this is something good. This is something which I really like. Extremely beneficial. This is collocation which will fetch you marks. However, is a lexical resource or vocabulary issue. Now instead of writing good, you should have written fair pay job or a responsible citizen. These responsible and fair pay, they are much better words in terms of understanding the meaning of the sentence than good. Similarly, over here, the idea could have been better expressed. For instance, the student has written, moreover, higher education gives birth to many inventions and new technologies because university students learn in depth. What exactly do they learn in depth? This is not clear. So this is again open to interpretation. Learning in depth doesn't mean anything. There is no concrete meaning. This is open to interpretation. Instead, if the student had written from because onwards, because university students have an atmosphere of right teachers, technical instruments, and adequate finance. Everybody understands what right teachers, technical instruments, and adequate finance means, but learn in depth is not clear. So again here, there's a vocabulary issue, there's a lexical resource issue going on. Okay. There are many other things, minor things which you should not be much concerned about. This sentence, for instance, therefore resulting limited resources. What do you mean by limited resources? Limited resources could have been better explained over here. What do you mean by limited resources? Limited human, financial, and technical resources would have been a much better explanation. Similarly, over here, the final sentence, this is a logical problem. This is not a vocabulary issue. Perhaps due to some vocabulary, this issue arose, but primarily student has jumped to the conclusion. She has jumped to conclusion instead of giving stepwise approach. So there is A followed by B, and B results in C. She has directly jumped from A to C, missing the B entirely. This can be due to lexical resource issues as well, since if you do not have adequate words, you are not able to explain the ideas. But this has led to two problems. You'll be losing band in lexical resources as well as in cohesion. Okay, in cohesion. Let us go through this sentence and let us try to avoid this mistake. In addition, each year thousands of students are graduating from universities. This is number one. Each year, thousands of students are graduating from universities, which elevates the unemployment rate. So how can a number of students graduating from universities directly lead to unemployment rate? There must be something which is missing. B is missing. Let us go through the sentence. Let us go through the change in sentence. In addition, since more number of students graduate each year, I'm sorry, wrong English, are graduating each year. Since more number of students are graduating each year, so this is the first idea, and the number of white-collar jobs are limited. This is one idea which you should have kept in mind. Okay, now let us try to understand it. Okay, you have two types of jobs. One are blue collar jobs and others are white collar jobs. What is the difference between them? Blue collar jobs are usually field jobs. These are machine shop jobs. You basically get your clothes dirty, and white collar jobs are office jobs. And who does an office job? Mostly the university students go for an office job. And as the number of university students increase, course office jobs are limited. There are a number of blue collar jobs and less number of office jobs. So the competition over here increases while the vacancy here is available, but there are not enough people, not enough trained people for blue collar jobs. So what you need in fact is more vocational education. So people who can really be good drivers, good mechanics, who can run medical instruments such as X-rays, MRI machines, those who can repair computers. You need those people, and you need less people with white collar job education. And these people are accountants, engineers mostly theoretical people, and number of commerce students and those category of things, humanities. And since more people are into these things, education related to white collar jobs, but the number of white collar jobs are limited, so the economy suffers from unemployment in office jobs and massive demand for blue collar workers. So there are vacancies on one hand, and there is unemployment on the other. So here it is unemployment, and here you have vacancies available. Not enough people applying for these jobs. So this is my take on this essay. Just click on the link below to go to this essay, read it for yourself, and subscribe to the channel. Thank you for watching.